Hi, I'm Hemalayaa, and I am so glad you joined me. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I have been sharing this week about finding the love of my life. And I guess it's a theme that I have found after searching and seeking for 22 years of going to healers, therapists, this modality and that modality, and doing all these different things to finally realize that the thing that I was looking for the whole time was the connection to source and coming back to that. And what today I was writing about is a very deep story. I realized that I had made a choice about life from a traumatic experience that happened to me. And I'm not going to share the experience right now. Please just read about it. It's one of those ones that if I talk about it, it's going to make me cry. So I'd prefer just to share with you in my words. And the truth is, all of us have those stories. We all have traumatic experiences. And then out of those traumatic experiences, we have made some choice. We've made some decision about life, how life is going to be from this moment on. And for that particular choice I made was to never trust men again. And it's played itself out. I'm 41 years old. I haven't been in a longer partnership than 5 years. And every time I get close with someone in an intimate relationship, trust comes up, basically. Trust. So we all have these places. And I feel like I'm a student of the stuff that comes through. And so I'm a student here too. And I've created the Enlightened Women Leadership Program that I'm running online, that I've been just launching right now. I'm really excited about it. It's just been stirring my passion, and I'm putting all the exercises I know to go from where we are now in those decisions that we've made to the point of moving so forward that we can be leaders. Because otherwise we're just carrying and schlepping those stories around, and then we might be teaching about how to be in a relationship with people. We might be teaching, we might be just teaching our own children how to live life without fear. But those traumatic experiences have created some kind of decision and created fear. So what I would like to do is actually give you a quick little exercise, not that quick, but pretty quick, an exercise to do right now. So you have an opportunity to release, have an experience of releasing one of those things, one of those choices that you made, one of those decisions that you made. Now, we're not going to drudge it up like I did in my blog, but you still might have emotion that comes up. And those emotions are great. I actually really encourage us to have emotions to release and move energy. That's actually what my program is about, is moving the energy that's been stuck from those choices, from those decisions that we made, and then everything got contracted from that point. So we keep moving forward. So wherever you are right now, if you have a moment to do this with me, it's a 5-minute exercise. So just take a deep breath in first. Deep breath in, exhale. We are going to an optimal level of health and well-being for our highest truth. So in this moment, I'm going to ask you, I hope you have a piece of paper or something, or a book, a journal nearby, or just some scrap paper and a pen. You can also use your computer, but I'd prefer handwriting is such a great way to move through some of this stuff. So close your eyes right now, take that deep breath in. Paper, pen is nearby. If it's not, put it on pause and go get it. And then come back. And I want you to think back to a recurring theme in your life. So what's a recurring theme in your life? Maybe that's some feedback that maybe every relationship you've been in has given you. Maybe your parents have said things over and over again, or the people that love you the most, and yourself. The self part is actually probably the hardest one to look at. But what are those things? For me, it was every relationship I was in, the men that I was in relationship with were saying to me that I act like I'm all loving and open, but when it came time to actually be intimate, I was closed and I didn't trust. And for years, I was like, I didn't even know what they were talking about. It was just like going over my head and I didn't know what they were talking about. And then a few years ago, it dawned on me, I clued in and I went, wow, that's been the recurring theme. And I didn't even need to go back into my history of like, this is where it came from. It was really just knowing that that's been running my show. That's been running my life. So let's think back to your recurring theme. What is that? Think back to that feedback that you've gotten. And then what decision did you make? It doesn't matter. We don't have to go into the story of like where it came from. But what decision? So obviously when I was getting that feedback and then I dawned, whatever the word is, I clued in to the fact that I didn't trust. And that was the decision I made. I made the decision that I was not going to trust. I could do it on my own and I was going to do it on my own. I was meant to do it on my own and I was going to be alone. So that was mine. What's yours? So take a deep breath in. Write it down. Put me on pause until you actually figure it out. Just give yourself a few minutes. It'll come. Good. And that's just it. The awareness is key. The awareness is the piece that was missing. And that's what happened to me a few years ago, like 4 years ago when I figured it out. I was like, oh my gosh, I have been in the dark. So since that, I have totally been aware of those moments when I stopped trusting. Or when that contraction comes up, the fear comes up. So for you now, for this particular decision that you've just realized, just keep watching out for it. Just keep noticing where it shows up. And now the next piece of this exercise is, what would your life look like if you didn't make that choice, or you hadn't made that choice? If you didn't have that theme running your life, what would it look like? Can you do a little visioning and write down just a paragraph of what it would have looked like, and allow, if emotion comes up, allow it to come up and out. That's what emotion wants to do. It's energy in the body, so it just wants to move out. So allow it, give it that freedom to move out. And that's the thing. So as you're writing this, what would your relationships be like? What would your life look like? What would it smell like? What would it feel like? Where would you be living? So take a moment, put it on pause, and take about 3 to 5 minutes and do that. And then come back. All right, so just again, having that awareness. I don't know if emotion came up for you, but good for you for just writing and taking this time to move that. Some people have asked me, some of my students, they're like, well, what if you get stuck in the emotion? Honestly, the emotion is stuck in you. So when it comes to the surface through tears or anger or laughter, it moves. It moves up and out. And the manifestation of it coming out is the tears. And then anger is the tricky one. We really dive into this in the Enlightened Women Leadership Program because some of us have turned really hard because we're carrying anger. And some of my students have also brought up that, like, what if, we haven't been allowed to have anger, first of all. So if you bring it up, won't it just, won't you just turn into an angry bitch? No. Again, releasing anger is one of the keys of having true joy. Because underneath that anger is sadness. Underneath the sadness is pure potential of joy. So I'm glad you tried this experience this exercise. Try it again with another theme, if another theme comes up. And I want to hear what happened, what came up for you. Please share. I am so thrilled to know that we're all in this together. This is the main reason I've created this program, is so for us to create community globally with the amazing leaders that we are and are meant to be. So thank you so much for joining. I will be sharing another layer to this. And look out for that. I look forward to talking to you soon. Namaste.